Okay, YouTubers, this is for educational purposes. I send warnings, not invitations. I apologize for how I say this. I do not apologize for what I say. This is a remake because I can't edit. I misspoke, and I'm not going to tell you a goddamn lie. So, getting that out of the way, I'm going to roll back up here and find this goddamn video that I just did about these damn pretendians. I've been looking for these other videos for like the longest time and I can't find them. And I also deleted the video about Pocahontas being black that had me on it. So we won't be refilming that shit. But we will be refilming this shit.
But the word black is a social construct.
Everything they're saying is bullshit.
It's like the word white is a. So when you talk about being indigenous to the land, can you expound on that? Being indigenous and Aboriginal is pretty much saying that we were here before any European colonialism. I'm a Moor. So the Moroccan Empire expanded from Northeast Africa even across the Great Atlantis. We got to know that we aboriginal to this land. Like, we didn't come over here on boats and slave ships and stuff. Yeah, that puts you in a different mindset that you need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, like you don't belong here.
Yeah, my family's birth records, and I was coming to, like, I'm having conversations with my grandma, Cherokee. That's our tribe, Cherokee.
Cherokee too. That was my tribe too.
But it's a misnomer though. It's misnomer.
Wow.
Because that's not actually how you pronounce it. It's more like it's Aboriginal language. So that's how they like Choctaw. That means chocolate people. That's something that they invented.
Indian means indigo because when they came over here, we was like bluish. We was so dark.
Dark, they blue.
We had pigment. We had blue pigment. Some of these conscious people that's even trying to give you messages. You notice the pink they and the blue cover art.
Tropical Avatar.
Actually, like the original people that was of the land, and then they, try to coerce them. They try to trick them, make them think that they were actually there to work with them, and then they stole everything.
Fake ass Thanksgiving story.
Yeah, and the moment they disagreed, they went straight to war.
Alright, first, fuck all four of them. And second, the Avatar, the first movie and the second movie, were both loosely based on Native American stories. And they fucked that all up right there. The first 7 minutes in the first Avatar movie when they first land on Pandora, that's a whole Native American story. And then the part with the Tree of Life, that's a Native American story. And there's a story of two brothers. There's a lot of Native American stories wrapped up in the Avatar movie, both in the first one and in the second one. Now, initially I started rolling down, and then I found KRS-One, and I made a fucking mistake. So I apologize to KRS-One for that. But as for those four ass fucks that was in that video, 1,000 miles of shame of all of y'all. Your ancestors are going to hurt y'all in the afterlife for that shit. And again, I'm not going to say that they don't have native ancestry, but everything that they said was complete and total bullshit. Like complete and total fucking bullshit. I just want to point that out. And I really wish that we are more had that video of the black kids that are running around hollering, "This is our land, this is our land." And I don't know why I can't find that damn video to save my fucking life. But there's a video of at least 3 or 4 black kids that are running around hollering that they are American Indians and they're taking back the land and some other bullshit. And I was like, they're going to come up to the wrong native kid and they're going to get fucked up. Alright? They are literally going to get fucked up because of the self-hatred that black people have for ourselves. This is how we got here. There's a bunch of self-hatred, and there's fucking celebrities like Ice Cube running around talking that shit. That was also another video that I had to delete in the video, and I will go back to that video when I find it. But we as black people have accomplished a lot of good things. But is this it? Please be it. I know it's probably not it. Show it anyway. Sensitive content. Alright, that's not it. That opens up with a fucking fire. That's not it either. Of course, technology is gonna fuck me over.
The Wat tribe is a
Okay. That's not it. Oh, come the fuck on. I done backed all the way out of the fucking damn man's thing there. Let's see if I find the Ice Cube video, I'll play that first. Because I clearly, there we go, you son of a bitch.
Why are you putting Native Americans in here? Why isn't this just for black people?
Well, black people are Native Americans. You know, we've had.
This is in case he tries to sue me.
That some of us started here in this land.
They have no proof. There is no proof. Ivan Van Sertima didn't have any proof. Dan Calloway doesn't have any proof. Fucking everybody who keeps saying this bullshit has no fucking proof. They have not one bone, not one shoe. They have nothing.
In this country, because some, I used to tease family members who would say, I got a little engine in me. I would think they didn't want to be all the way black. But when I really do the research, a lot of them did have a little engine in them. So, it's one of those things where, we want to be counted on all levels, not just, through slave ships. Like I said, we were here before Columbus.
These leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders, celebrities, and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
I think that summed it up.
Native Americans in here. Why isn't this just for black people?
Well, black people are Native Americans. We've had a lot of proof that some of us started here in this land. Everybody wasn't brought over from Africa. So, we have to, like you say, unpack all of that and try to, find the true lineage.
That's for him. I can't figure out what I'm trying to say. But y'all got no fucking proof. Not a drop of proof. Now, he may have some Indian in him, but black people are not the original people of this land. That's how we got here. That's also why I have started writing Sundown, because it's bullshit. I address Native American issues. Ice Cube has never addressed Native American issues before Trump's presidency and before this interview with Roland Martin. So, I played this video in case this gets back to him and he decides to, hey, let's have a lawsuit on Echo Fang Grey Wolf. Hey, remember that movie Diddley Grounds, where you played an African living in America and had to go back to Africa to avenge your family because somebody did some stupid shit to them? Because I remember it because I was a fucking fan of yours, fella. That's for legal purposes, just in case this video makes it to him and he decides that he wants to sue me. But you've never played a Native American. You've never rapped about Native American issues. You have not gone to the Navajo Nation to see what you can do about giving them the motherfucking water rights back. Oh, I forgot. Because they're Native Americans and you're American Indians and y'all lived in houses while we lived in teepees. I'm also part black. I was raised mixed because I am mixed. I don't have a lot of Native culture, but I got a lot of Native folklore. I don't speak the language, but I'm learning the fucking language. I've had these discs for over like 20-something years, and I never really took them into consideration until this fucking Pretendian bullshit started happening. With that ass fucker that you just saw there. And those fucking poor black people talking about some Choctaw means chocolate people. You understand the ridiculousness that is this shit. I mean, you literally can't sit here and have these motherfuckers talk about some, we got this, and this, and that, and yet you ain't got one snowball's fucking dime of evidence in that shit. Like, at all. And we got people like Port City and the Adjustment Syndicate and Brother X and Evo and a bunch of beautiful ladies pushing back and fighting y'all asses in this shit because y'all fuckers are fucking erasing black history. You're erasing native history. And we can't just stand there and let that shit happen. Black people have enough problems. It's hard to gain rank in the military, and certain branches of a black person. It's hell for you to try to grab rank. It's hell for you to try to grab rank as a native, and even as a Latino and as a Hispanic person. And I was in the Army, and my uncles have served in the Army and the Navy. Nobody's in the Air Force, but I got a few brothers that I know that joined the Air Force. And these mofos can't even give you 1 ounce of folklore. Oh, my bad. I forgot. They have given us folklore. They said that we're gods and we have telekinetic powers, and that they rode fucking griffins and dragons into battle against the European Americans, but they lost. And then they try to use the mounds, and they try to use the other things, and they come up with every excuse under the book other than the fucking truth. Black people were not here first. I'm sorry if that hurts your fucking feelings. I'm part black. I'm also part native. I'm also part white. That fucking bio says it, and has said it for the last 10 years, because I've been on this app for well over 10 years. If you count my other Kung Fu Havoc page, then I've been on this app for well over 10 years. You know, I just don't have control over that page anymore. But it's the principle of this shit. That people are running around, and they're letting their kids run around saying this stupid shit. And no one's doing anything about it. Except for, like, the Black Education Cabinet, the Adjustment Syndicate. And why are you not getting off of this fucking shit? Get off. Thank you. Damn, I hate technology. But you know, they're not fixing the issue. If anything, they're making shit a fuck ton worse for everybody. And so with black people who are part native trying to reconnect, now y'all know why the natives are giving us a hard fucking time. Because of other black people who were saying, we were here first, and y'all aren't the real American Indians. We're the real American Indians. And American Indians and Native Americans are two different things. The fact that this is still a thing, and that it is still going on, and that it is so fucking stupid, that it is still fucking happening, is fucked up. Just want to point that out, that it is fucked up. That if you are part black and part native, that the fucking pretendians that are black have ruined it for us. It's going to be hell trying to reconnect, because it's the fact, oh, well, you guys are pretendians. And then when you try to go to a native community, and if you have your papers and your papers are legit, they're not going to believe you because of the black pretendians who are getting up on this app and social media in general. They're on YouTube, they're on TikTok, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, and they're all saying the same bullshit, but they don't have a fucking slipper. They don't have a hatchet. They don't know what the fuck a bow and arrow is even used for. They don't know shit. And they don't know folklore outside of dragons and griffins and things that they've watched in Game of Thrones. So my question for you pretendians who were replaced by my Native American ancestors of today: how do you have dragons, griffins, and dinosaurs, and there's a portal that can take you from Hopi Land in the fucking Grand Canyon to Egypt in America, which is in Tennessee, Baltimore, it's in Maryland, it's in Maine, it's in Tennessee, it's in Mississippi, it's in every state but Virginia and Hawaii. But Egypt is in America, and y'all got this magical Stargate to take you to Egypt in America, and then take you from Egypt in America to Egypt in Egypt, which makes no fucking sense at all. Now, here's the most important part. You got dragons, griffins, dinosaurs, you got Kodiak bears, polar bear as a pet, you got a grizzly bear as a pet, you got a mastodon, you got telekinetic powers, telepathic powers, you can fucking Super Saiyan go into Dragon Ball Z mode, and y'all lost to some people who had stone-tipped arrows, stone-tipped spears, and stone-tipped knives. Y'all had dragons, man. Y'all literally had dragons and giants and everything else that I just named. And you had polar bears as pets. You want to tell me how the Inuit kicked your ass in the cold? And you want to tell me how all the other native tribes from Canada to Chile beat your ass and took your name and your language? That's not possible. You have fucking dragons. We all know what one dragon can do in Game of Thrones. Oh, you guys must have had Puff the Magic Dragon. He's not violent, like, at all. No dragons from Skyrealm, no dragons from Dragon Age, just dragons. No dragons from Game of Thrones. But y'all had dragons. Y'all had griffins. Do y'all know what a fucking griffin looks like? It looks like an eagle with a lion's body. But y'all lost to people who had primitive weapons. Now you tell me how the fuck does that happen when you got dragons who breathe fucking fire, and you got giants who could have walked out to sea and just smashed the Europeans as well as the natives of today's boats. So tell me how that happened. Because if all that's going on and y'all lost with that entire arsenal of Marvel supervillains, y'all had Fing Fang Foom on your fucking team and y'all fucking lost. He breathes fire. You had Tiamat. She's a 5-headed dragon. You had griffins, mastodons, giants. I mentioned this before, but y'all had dragons. Which really would have been all you needed if you literally had dragons. Y'all know shit. Dragons and griffins are not native folklore. I'm only going to give you two. Wendigo and Bigfoot. And they're not the same. They are not the same. And yes, Ojibwa has had to deal with both Wendigo and Bigfoot. And I'm not Ojibwa. But I know some of the Ojibwa legends. I know a lot of native folklore. It's all my great-grandmother ever gave me. And she died when I was 10. So, to be fair, I don't speak the language. I know the folklore. I don't do anything traditionally native. But I know the folklore. Yes, I can actually make a canoe. I just need the right equipment. I don't have that. I probably also need help getting the wood back to the yard and putting it on the thing, and I need the stuff to treat it so that the wood doesn't suck in all the water and whelp up and then sink. So yeah. So again, you also need to peel all the bark off without peeling the fucking whole tree apart. Now you gotta have the right precision tool to slice it nice and thin so that you'll have more tree and less bark. Then you have to say, damn, I'm fucking up. Anyway, I did this before on TikTok and I just kept going and kept going and kept going and forgot what the fuck I wasn't supposed to say. And I did it. So, there are pretendians on this app. There are literally pretendians on this fucking app. And they are believing the bullshit that Ice Cube says, that Dan Calloway says. So, first and foremost, let me make sure you guys are 100% clear. I am in Charlottesville, Virginia. I have literally walked around this town with my TikTok to show people where I am. There is a tribe that I'm trying to reconnect to. It's called the Chickahominy. Because that would be on my father's side, on his mother's side. His daddy was black. 100% black. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. He was fucking black. Alright? Making him Afro-Indigenous. And he looked very black. My mom's dad was a quadroon or octoroon. Very white passing. My mom looks fucking white. Her mom is native and black. I do have native. I do have black. I do have white. Therefore, my family's mixed. My great-grandmother on my dad's side cleaned for the same man that my grandmother cooked for. That's what they did for a living. So when people talk about like natives having piss-handy jobs, yes. And fun fact, my mom's mom also cleaned for a living. It's probably why I clean for a living. Oh God. Somewhere along the line, my grandmother and her mother are laughing. Yeah, that grandson of ours, man, that little son of a bitch is cleaning toilets just like you did, Mom. Shut up. You cooked for the same guy that I cleaned for. I can see that argument happening between them right now. I never really seen my great-grandmother and my grandmother argue. I also hate corn. I'm also dreadfully afraid of flying roaches and fucking horses, which I said in another video. But yeah, black people, we are not the original people to this land. And y'all really need to stop pushing that shit, because what you're doing is basically stopping every other black person from getting reparations because you're pulling this fucking narrative. And newsflash for you, Iron Man Sertima is a piece of shit. Wrecker, Walter Plecker, is a piece of shit. But more importantly, if you're on this app, this is YouTube, if you're on this app and you're following Dan Calloway, or you're following Ice Cube, also pieces of shit, they already got paid to say the shit that they're saying. And I bring you to the movie Boys in the Hood. There was nothing native about a Jerry curl and him being big boy and hurting everybody. There's nothing native about that shit. Not a goddamn drop of Native American influence is in Boys in the Hood. Maybe the casting director. Let's take you to The Ghost of Mars, where that beautiful Pam Grier was in that sumbitch. He wasn't a native while he was on Mars, fighting alongside that white lady from Species. I can't think of the name of her name right now, Natasha something. But he didn't do any native ceremonies before going to war, doing native ceremonies when he broke out of prison, didn't do any native ceremonies when he saved her and had to go back and kill all these damn zombies. He did no native ceremonies and nothing that he's done. Nothing. Nothing native. And when he did Deadly Grounds, no native ceremonies. Yeah, that's real native of you, buddy. You do know that as a Native American, there is a ceremony before a fight. Like if you're going to war against another tribe, there's a ceremony. If you're going to hunt, there is a ceremony. I'm not giving you any more than that, because I know these are through folklore and also through oral stories, but I do know that there's a ceremony damn near for everything. So, yeah. These people are not Native American. And black people are not the original people to this land. And no matter what anybody else tells you, you may have Native in your family. If you are Black American, without the shadow of a doubt, you're probably going to have anywhere between 2 to 5% or 0.5% of Native American heritage versus your Black and European heritage. So keep that shit in mind. Yes, I phenotypically look Mexican. I'm not Mexican. I've literally told y'all this story on another video, but the long and short is, I took Spanish in college. The college teacher said she never met a Mexican that couldn't speak Spanish. I had to let her know that I'm not Mexican and that she was racist and that she needed some culture. Mexicans are Native Americans, but I am not from that tribe of Native Americans. So yeah, should probably not believe every celebrity that's going around hollering that black people are the original Native Americans, because it's bullshit. It's complete and utter and total bullshit. And don't get hurt doing this dumb shit. Oh, well, we're the real American Indians and you guys are natives and you guys lived in teepees while we lived in houses. Not all natives were nomadic and not all natives moved around in teepees. A bunch of them did, but a lot of them didn't. And this is some things that they don't teach you in school, but these are some things that your family will probably teach you. Now, here's the thing with me. I was raised black. Straight up and down. Raised in the fucking hood. And in the hood, I was trained and taught all kinds of black stuff. I was also taught and trained and told how many times that, you know, you're not really one of us. You're not really black. So, as a mixed person, I've had to fight for acceptance for the bulk of my motherfucking life. The bulk of it. I'm 51 now. And every now and again, I will meet people who want to strike up a conversation, and instead of just legally or being polite and saying, hey man, can I ask you a question? Are you a Native American? Or are you part Native? Or something, which is generally, yeah, I'm part Native. You know, I literally let them know. I'm also part black, I'm also part white. I let them know. And it's because of pretendians, the people like me who are actually Afro-Indigenous versus me who's triracial, can't get back to tribes because of fucking pretendians. Who, again, they may have Native ancestry. They may have a Native grandparent sitting right at home. They may have a black parent and a Native parent. They may have a great ancestor that was Native. but they're trying to eradicate the black side of them, which means you can look and see that I have black in me. And if you can't, okay, well, you're one of those few. But most black people know that I have black in me, but facially, I don't look black. You know, so those are the things you have to deal with when you're mixed. And now with this whole Black Pretendian things, and they're coming in as ninth ether beings, and they're riding griffins, dragons, dinosaurs, and Kodiak bears as pets, and mastodons, and they got giants, and they're gods, and yeah, they can do all this stuff. But yet they lost. They lost, and they became slaves. They became put in chains. Now, here's the thing. Every tribe east of the Mississippi, they're starting to claim. Tribes from Virginia. Here's why they can't claim things like the Kiowa, or the Kickapoo, or the Cheyenne, or the Comanche, or the Apache, or the Lakota, because none of those people ever saw black people before Lewis and Clark, and before slavery, and before the Buffalo Soldiers. None of those people have any stories about meeting black people anywhere. Same thing with Inuit. And Inuit is what used to be the name of people used to call Eskimos. Eskimo has become a slur, so you have to call them Inuit, and there's well over 100 Inuit tribes separate from each other out there in Alaska. And I'm pretty sure they do cultural exchange and stuff like that, which is the same reason why when I wrote Love 13, I did a thing on, I have taken native legends and made them save the 13 superheroes in Love 13. They worked with them, and they also work with people from another dimension. It's a really good book. I'll be glad when I can pay for it to be published. But anyway, the whole thing is that I took Sasquatch, Coyote the Trickster, I took the Deer Woman, I took Thunderbird, and I took the Inuit Goddess of Ice. I swapped the stories around a little bit so that I use more of my imagination and actual folklore. So if you ever read this book, you can't use it and say you're a native. You can't. You might be able to slide with Coyote. You might be able to slide with Thunderbird. You might be able to slide with the Deer Woman. But the only thing that I kept factual was fucking Sasquatch. Everything else I just made out of my head. As far as I know, Thunderbird's not a shapeshifter. And neither is Coyote or the Deer Woman. But in this book, they could do that shit. So, you know, if you're gonna follow anybody that's pretending to be native, you might want to make sure that they know what they're talking about. Folklore is very strong in the native community, just like creation stories are very strong in the native community. And a lot of the pretendians don't know that, unless they're following me now on this page, and I don't have time to go through 595 people to see if you're actually a fucking Native American, or if you're a fucking pretendian, or if you're mixed like me. But for the record, if any of you guys hear these stories about Coyote, or the Deer Woman, or the Thunderbird, I understand one thing for sure. What I was told or what you were told probably won't be the same thing depending on what tribe tells you. For me, I was taught the Deer Woman is a spirit of vengeance. I was taught that Thunderbird was a spirit of vengeance. Coyote was just a fucking nuisance, which is why I made him the leader. And Sasquatch, 2 tribes, one good, one bad. I don't want to encounter either one of those motherfuckers, because I know my luck, and I would wind up befriending the bad guys before I ever met the good guys. And then I would find out that I probably killed 13 good Sasquatches because the bad Sasquatch tricked me. You know, we're not doing that. I'm not trusting anything that doesn't speak English. So, you know, if it's going to talk to me telepathically. And yes, that's also a folklore that the Sasquatches can talk to people telepathically. I am not taking a chance of that shit. No. So, being that I got all that out the way, you got to be mindful of who tells you what and who approaches you with native shit. If they're not native looking or in native regalia and they didn't come from the fucking res and you didn't meet them at a powwow or some shit, be very careful of who you talk to. Because I just gave you some folklore shit that I shouldn't have shared. No. But folklore, the pretendians can't really do much about that. I mean, if y'all really want, you can just go whistle at night and play with the skinwalkers. May God have mercy on your soul after. But, you know, again, Wendigo is Ojibwa. Sasquatch is everybody. I did not use Wendigo in my story. Thought about it, but I was like, nah, they got enough problems with what they're going to be fighting in the human realm, so there's that. And as much as I hate it, I am afraid of horses, but I did put unicorns in the story. But they're not white unicorns, they're black unicorns. And I put Shangri-La in the story because that's where it all comes to the head to end the story. For the soulless child to have a soul. And that child, never mind. When the book comes out, you'll find out what happens to the child. It's also not for kids. I know it sounds cool because it has all kinds of fantasy shit in it, like the Greek gods, the Roman gods, and the African gods from Egypt and shit like that. But the native gods are the ones that's going to have to save the world. And it involves a lot of mishmash of all kinds of folklore and stuff. So when Love 13 does drop, you will be able to read that. Might be 2025, 2030 before it even gets done. But the book is done. The book is done. I'm not going to read Outskirt for that, but it's my first novel. So it's getting published after American Konoichi sells first. So just be on the lookout for that. Because American Konoichi needs to make money so Love 13 can drop. And then Love 13 needs to make money so Sundown can drop. Because I'm a heartbeat away from finishing this. I'm on page 721. I'm gonna type until I'm done. Hopefully this will be done before 2026. I wanted to be done before January, but there was some deaths in the family and some other shit to start off 2025. So yeah, we're going through it as always. But that being said, I am Echo Fan Grey with This is Comfort Having number 2. Thank you for watching. Be seeing you. Where's that damn arrow thing?